Hey guys, this is Nathan, and this is AOC2 Project 1. So, I'm gonna run my code real quick so that I can kind of show you what I did. There's the iOS simulator. Alright, so you can see how it kind of looks. And this week, what we had to do is basically have a calculation that goes in the background and put a few elements together and just have labels that relate to it that would dynamically load in whatever is there. And so on all of these, that the top label, which you have is what's being loaded in is right here, the specialization, and then what they're carrying, and then all of the numbers down on all of these that are basically talking about the DPS and what changes it were all loaded in. And this is about World of Warcraft. Mists of Pandaria was released this week, and I've basically had my life sucked away by it. Thank you, Facebook group, for bringing me back in. But and it's themed relatively. You have the Brewmasters kind of had that yellowish color, so Brewmaster Monk, Mistweavers were greenish, and Windwalkers were bluish, if I remember correctly. Anyways, my code. So I think the best thing to kind of show with this is just going into what did I actually have in here. You could see you could see the custom equations down here for all of them, and see. And so I'm just going to kind of talk about what I had loaded in. So with the Brewmaster, Brewmaster, it's a tank, and they get drunk and do damage. So I basically had whatever damage increase, you have the original DPS right there, 1,000, it's just a random number. And then I had, the alcohol level, which was set in the view controller. That's where it's set, right there. And that's a float because it's a decimal. And then basically damage per alcohol level. And so what you have right here is you just have average DPS, so 1,000 plus whatever the alcohol level is times 1,000. And then it gives a little NS log saying what it is, and it actually puts it onto the label over there. And while you don't have this part printed out on the label, you do have the alcohol level printed on the label. Mistweaver, it's kind of a similar thing, except I had it determined based off of the time they spend healing or attacking, and then their group size. The group size is something that I wish I would have had more room to kind of talk about on the label, but I didn't, and I didn't quite know what to do to implement it. And so because I would try to log it out, but it would just log as a number. So, but you could kind of see, if the group size is small, this is the equation. If it's a medium size, this is the equation. And if it's a large size, this is the equation. This is the number that changes based off of those. The smaller the group, obviously the less time you have to spend healing, or at least the less you have to do while doing it, and so the less amount of damage per second decreased from your DPS. This, time attacking times 100, because they're decimals, so it's just making them numbers because it's percentages. So, I think it was like 85 and 15, 15% of the time attacking, 85% of the time healing, and so they have a decrease of DPS. Then you have the Windwalker. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Basically, I just kind of threw in energy level and chi level in there. That's some of the resources they use. Don't really change much, but I have them in there. And then, and those are determined in the view controller as well. And then beastness is something that I added on. And that's kind of the fun one, I guess. So average DPS plus beastness plus chi level and energy level. And I think I actually changed the beastness in the view controller, if I'm thinking correctly. While I'm going through this, there's a few things I definitely could have done better. This isn't right. It works, but it's no longer right with iOS 6. And so I should have figured out how to fix that and not have warnings. I should have been more not exactly rigorous, but I should have commented stuff more because I have a small comment here and there, but overall this is just like a giant block of text, and that makes it kind of tough. And the last thing, this is something I got, told in the grading, is that I shouldn't have named the things create Windwalker or create Brewmaster or Mistweaver, whatever. I should have had it set up as a noun so that it doesn't seem like a method. Anyways, that was my first project, and I feel I did decent on it, and it's pretty cool. And I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you, and I'll talk to you guys again next week. Bye.